What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for tuning in. Today we got quite a bit to discuss. As you guys know, GameStop and AMC have been going pretty nuts. What this really is most likely a bottom bounce short squeeze, and it's a common thing that stocks go through after they've had a big run up, okay? So let me explain. Let's pop on GameStop here really quick. We're going to we'll look at the daily chart here. So pretty much any stock that gets, a big run up like this and then crashes goes through a bounce like this. There's a lot of portion of like the Wall Street Bets Reddit community and a lot of chat rooms or whatever somehow think this is going to go like up to like 1,000 or something. I hope it does, but probably not. The common flow of the market when we get a big explosive move like this is to crash and then bounce back to resistance and then continue selling back off. So in my personal opinion here, you're probably just going to continue seeing GameStop, probably sell down. Doesn't mean that it can't go up a little bit, but generally speaking, you would probably just see GameStop continuing lower overall because that's normally what's supposed to happen after this big bounce move that you just seen on GameStop. So for us right now, GameStop and AMC are going to be continuing back down. We've already been bearishly trading GameStop this morning a bit. So overall, GameStop for me probably going to go lower. And you can see here, if we go to the daily chart, right, look at what happened. So we crashed. So this is overbought. We come back down below. So yeah, this is, ready, right? So you're at 500. You crash down to this white line. That's the statistical average. Then you bounce all the way back up to 3 deviation resistance right there. And then you sell back off. So chances are AMC is pretty much going to be trending back down towards $50 and then probably lower in the future. Looking at AMC, same exact thing, right? If we look at GameStop and AMC, they're identical, right? So they do the same thing. You go overbought, so blue line is resistance. If you break over that, that's when you cause short sellers to get nervous and they squeeze themselves out. So here, squeeze themselves out. Then they crash back down below the market, which is the blue line, right? And they bounce back up to the blue line, which is resistance, and they sell back off. So right now, AMC target is probably about $4.68 for the time being, and then the target on GameStop is probably about $49 to $50 for right now. So, that's our outlook there on AMC and GameStop. A stock this morning that's been up a little bit is METX. So METX pushed all the way to 328, then sold down. Right now, 328 is the resistance. If we look at the 4-hour chart, you will see that this pushed right to that line. So again, that's resistance. Actually did a little short trade off this morning as METX ran into the 325 resistance, started adding short here and covering as the candle and the stock ended up, selling down a little bit today. So I still think that METX is probably going to be a little bit of a bearish move going into the open. So I was even considering trying to do a little bit of selling on this, maybe towards the open or into the open for another short trade on the day. Haven't quite made up my mind on that play just yet. All right, now we'll take a look at the Qs because as you guys know, the markets have been going down. So we had recommended being long the market on this day, and then we were anticipating we were going to sell down again. So you're still in sort of a dip buy area. My only concern with being super long right now is that we'll still try to see the markets grind down towards 304, or we're going to have to wait for the market to catch up to price action. So we're going to have to wait for trend to get up to price action. Either way, I still think it's a dip that the markets should probably be looking at getting long on. We still have a potential move all the way down to 293. Basically, put it this way. If in the event you see the NASDAQ fall all the way down to 293, you're definitely going to want to be long bias around the 295, 293 zone. And so the reason I'm touching on the NASDAQ is because you can see stocks like NEO are still getting crushed, AMD. All these stocks are still just really selling down. And that's primarily because, overall the markets are bearish right now. All right, so we're not too long biased the market right now. We kind of want to see it a little bit lower, but this is the zone where you should start being long biased in. You should start considering dip buying into some stocks that you really like. and being more long bias, into this dip on the market. We still think there's a possibility it can go a little lower. The only reason we want it a little lower is because then the price becomes a little better. So it's not that we want it lower because we want it lower. We just like it better because you'd be coming down into stronger support areas if it did go a little lower. So probably our play for today is going to be METX short bias. We're currently still long bias CCIV. You can see CCIV drop down. So we're actually following CCIV long bias back to say $34. Right now it's been going through sort of a sideways consolidation. We're really looking for this to kind of push up towards 32 and maybe 34 in the next couple days. So we're following CCIV long bias as well. Main play probably going to be a little bit of an METX short bias following CCIV and then tracking the NASDAQ for when it's getting ready to bounce to probably be actively long bias on some stocks. Now, disregarding the NASDAQ for just a second, looking at NIO here, you will see that NIO put in a bounce right off of this trend. So we're back down to this trend, which means we should probably be a little bit more long bias on NIO today than bearish, just because we had bounced, hit the 9 moving average and deviation resistance. We retrace back to support. You can see the green candles. So ideally for NIO to have somewhat of a good play, you probably want to see it break back up and over the $47 price point, and then you can get a little pop on it. So kind of long bias NIO today as well. And if the NASDAQ puts in a strong bullish day, then we should expect that, a lot of our large cap stocks, NIO, Tesla, and things of that nature should put in a solid day as well. And that's really all we're keeping an eye on today. METX, NIO, GameStop, AMC. There was also the stock from earlier. It was, what was it? Hold on. So it was LIXT. This I haven't seen in a while, but it's one of the penny stocks that have so far been holding up pretty well this morning. Doesn't really have any news from today. That's what makes me slightly more nervous about it. And it is a little overbought. So we're keeping an eye on this one, LIXT, to see if we can have some continued momentum to the upside as well. So this is the other main watch we're keeping on today is LIXT. So right now, the market doesn't really offer anything more than $11 on the upside. That would pretty much be about max right now for LIXT. Right now, we're just on fair trend. Essentially, what's going on right now is people are looking for this kind of like flag setup to break to the upside. So you could be watching long. You see how it's kind of pushing. That's what people are looking for right now at LIXT, is this wedge formation to break up. And if it does a true breakout, you should anticipate the market should go to about 835 on LIXT. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that's our watch list for today. That's everything that we're really paying attention to. So hope you guys learned something new. Hope that helps you throughout the day, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.